Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore. That's my guy, Charles Jackson. How you doing?
What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm good. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is our week 2 power rankings. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll go first. So for this week, at 1, I got the Cavs. At 2, I got the Thunder. 3, the Celtics. No, the Suns. 4, the Celtics. 5, Warriors. 6, Mavs. 7, Rockets. 8, the Kings. 9, the Nuggets. And then 10, the Lakers.
Loki? We damn near got the same stuff. But, I'll go. At number 10, I got the Memphis Grizzlies. At number 9, I got the Denver Nuggets. At number 8, I got the Houston Rockets. At number 7, I got the Sacramento Kings. At number 6, I got the Dallas Mavericks. At number 5, I got the Golden State Warriors. At number 4, I got the Boston Celtics. At number 3, I got the Phoenix Suns. At number 2, I got the Oklahoma City Thunder. And at number 1, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm not going to cap. The Lakers have not been playing good basketball. If they probably should have, if they would have won last night, I didn't think they was going to win. AD didn't play. I think they go in at number 10, but nothing higher than that. They literally stay at 10. But Memphis been playing some good ball lately. You know, Desmond Bane has been hurt, and John Morant been having to do basically everything for that team, and he's been playing really good. So I think the Grizzlies deserve to be at number 10.
Yeah, I was debating between them and the Lakers at 10, and I know the Lakers had a couple of bad losses. They lost to the Pistons. But I mean, I still put them at 10 because AD's hurt, and then they had a tough schedule to start the season too. So um, that's why I still kept them at 10. Uh,
You can't lose to the Pistons.
nah, but
You
the Pistons.
can't. I'm not saying they a free W coupon, but you're better. You're supposed to beat them. Like you supposed to beat the Pistons. You're
Yeah, they
supposed
did.
to.
They definitely did. AD had a good night scoring wise, but he didn't really
Nope.
rebound that well.
But I mean, I can definitely go with that. But no one else played good. D'Lo didn't play good. Rui didn't play good. The bench was trash. The bench been bad all year. It's been bad. And I told you about Gabe Vincent, bro. He's bad. I don't want to say sucks. He's bad. He's bad. People come from Miami and they suck. Like they're bad.
Yeah, I thought he was going to at least get the Lakers a little bit more than that.
Terrible, bro. It's terrible. That game against the Pistons, we got Jackson Hayes with 5 and Dalton Connect with 5, and that's it. They put Cam Reddish. He didn't even attempt a shot. He didn't even attempt in 14 minutes. You didn't even attempt a shot, brother. Like, come on. And then it's like with no AD against the Grizzlies. Come on, bro. I knew we was gonna lose. I ain't tripping on that, bro.
Where did you have the Nuggets at?
I had them at 9. The Nuggets been playing some good. They've been playing some good ball. Jokic's been on another level, man. He's showing why he's the best player in the NBA. He's showing why he's the best player.
I would say, yeah, I got the Nuggets at 9 too, but we're not talking about the fact that since Russ been in the starting lineup, they've been 3-0. I mean, I know Jamal's hurt, but since he's been in the starting lineup, they've been good.
Add that in there. But you kept telling me, let Russ be the guy, like not the guy, but let him be like the lead point guard. He still hasn't been that. It's still been Jokic. That's all I was saying.
No, Russ has been playing Russ basketball. He's been getting the ball off of transition. Russ is really good when he gets the rebound and he pushes it in transition. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's the best. And they've been letting Russ do that. And then he's been inserted in the starting lineup with better players. I mean, granted, though, the others have stepped up. Peyton Watson, that was a clutch block that he had on SGA last night. And then, Christian Braun. And I keep forgetting bro name. Jalen who? What's his last name?
Schroeder?
Julian
His name's
Schroeder.
Jalen.
Now,
It's Julian.
yeah,
Julian.
I cannot remember that man's name. But he's been playing good too. But if they want a shot at winning or to be a top 6 team in the West, they have to play better defensively. They're ranked number 17 defensively, and that's terrible. You're not going to win too many games
I wouldn't
being
say
ranked
terrible.
17.
I think it's not good. I wouldn't say terrible.
I mean, 17th, that's bottom
That ain't
half of the
bottom
league.
20. It
I
ain't
mean, it's
bottom
still
20 though.
bottom half of the league. You're not even a
Yeah.
half
I
of the
just don't
league.
think it's terrible. I just don't think it's terrible. I just
It's
bad
not.
though.
It's not going to be good enough to beat these top playoff teams unless you outscore them. That's the only way.
So when Jamal Murray,
But
whenever he comes back, is what they gonna do?
me personally, I would keep Russ in the starting lineup because Russ has been playing really good since he's entered the starting lineup, and they've been on the winning streak since he's
And
been in the
move
starting
Michael
lineup.
Porter to the 4. Then when Aaron Gordon comes back, you know what they're gonna do.
Well, they probably gonna put Russ back on the bench, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I told you I don't agree with that shit. I think they'd be better off. And Christian Bryant, to his credit, he's been playing good. So, I mean, even if he comes off the bench, if he
He's
can
not.
still keep up that production,
He's not. He
they
been
won't
playing
really lose
really
anything.
good. He's been hooping. He been doing a lot of everything. He been playing good defense, man. He good in transition, man. He's been playing good. Michael Porter too. And Michael Porter all of them really been playing good. And they aren't playing better than the other guys at the top of like our rankings, but they've been playing better
Mm-hmm.
because they were struggling to get W's against teams that they were supposed to beat. But they've been playing good. Like y'all just beat OKC. And I know a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people had OKC probably winning
He
last week.
winning. Yeah, they probably had
Y'all
OKC
beat
winning
them,
by
and
double
you gotta give
digits.
them credit. You gotta give them credit. Low key though, I was deciding on should the Rockets and the Kings who should be at like 7-8, but I think the Kings have been playing. They've been playing better basketball lately. I feel like they know they're running the offense really more kind of through Sabonis. Sabonis is, bro. I just saw it was a stat. He's the first person since 1979 to have a
Mm-hmm.
triple, basically a perfect triple double with perfect
Mm-hmm.
field goal percentage, perfect free throws, and no turnovers.
No turnovers. Yep.
So they know who to go with. They know who to run the offense through. And De'Aaron Fox, I know he's got that torn. It's like his not. I was about to say torn finger, but his finger is messed up. He's still been playing decent. He's still been playing decent. DeRozan been playing decent. It's still gonna take a minute for all of them to get acclimated together. But the Kings been playing real good, and the Rockets they've been playing
Yeah.
good too. But I don't think they've been playing better than Kings though. But I
I
don't
got
think
the
the Kings been
Kings
clearing
at
them though.
I got the Kings at 8, because they lost to the Raptors within
Mm-hmm.
this last week. And then on top of that, they're ranked 11th defensively, so that's not bad.
Who the
But like I
Kings?
said, the Kings are
Oh,
ranked 11th defensively.
okay.
And then they lost to the Raptors with no Scotty. Like that's a bad loss.
Yeah.
And so far they really haven't gelled together. I mean, they're still winning games because they're good offensively. Um, but I'm worried about them because in order for you to win, y'all gotta outscore these teams. And if you don't outscore these teams, what are y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do after that? But I mean, they haven't gelled together. They haven't really came all together and gelled together. The team isn't really, they're still getting used to each other. So I got them at 8. And then with the Rockets, did you know the Rockets are number 4 defensively? I didn't even know that.
I think they were a good defensive team last year, low key, but I did not know they
They
were
top
number
5.
4 though. I didn't know they were
They
number
top
4
5.
though.
And then I got them at 7 because they had big wins against the Mavs this week and the
They
Knicks.
did beat the Mavs
So
last week.
those was 2 good games that they won. And then they had that close game against the Warriors that they fought back from.
Shouldn't have been down
They
by
still should
30
have won.
though.
No, they shouldn't have. They still should have won because they had no
Mhm.
Steph. But they
Stephen
lost because they couldn't.
Stephen play
Nah,
that game?
Steph didn't play. I don't think Steph
Oh
played that game.
yeah.
And then they lost because they couldn't guard the 3. But Jalen Green has been playing very well. Like he surprised me. I know to this day I still call this man the more athletic Jordan Clarkson, but he's been playing really well. And if he can sustain that, they can fuck around and make the playoffs.
His defense been
But
better.
yeah, his defense has been better, and the others have been playing good too. Tari Eason and Aman, they were a big part of the reason why they came back from that 30-point blowout.
Tyrese have been playing good
Yeah.
off
So
the
the
bench.
Rockets, I put them ahead of the Kings because they had two really good wins, and then the others have stepped it up. Yeah, they playing really good basketball right now.
Dallas, I think Dallas been playing good, so I kept them at 6. The Warriors, I had the Warriors at 7 last week, so I moved them up to number 5. And obviously, they beat the Celtics last night. Obviously, the Celtics ain't complete, but you play who's in front of you, and they did beat them. Buddy Hield been playing good. Steph played good in the second half. He definitely played good in the second half, and you gotta give him credit for that. The Warriors just been a surprisingly good team. They are really surprised. I think they're surprised. If you ain't a Warriors fan, you're surprising everybody. Like,
Yeah,
you're basically surprising everybody because I did not expect the Warriors to be 7-1. Literally, I thought they would be probably like 4-3 or something, or 3-4. But you got to give the Warriors. You got to give the Warriors their credit. And the Celtics, I had the Celtics at 4. I had Celtics at 4. They've been still playing good basketball, but Jaylen Brown, he's out. He's been out the last like 3 games, and I mean that's Jason Tatum running mate. And now you're asking Jason Tatum to basically do a lot more than he's usually capable of doing. And Derek White, he's basically stepped up. It's just they faced a tougher opponent in the Warriors because they faced I was about to say the Bobcats, but the Hornets the last 2 games, and the Hornets they not a good team, so I'm not taking
no.
nothing away from that.
I mean, yeah, with the Warriors, I last week I had them at 6, and then I moved them up to 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5. Um, and when I looked at it, I seen that I was looking at like I did all the defensive ratings for all of the teams that in my power rankings,
Mhm.
and the Warriors they are number 2 defensively, and they're
Like
holding
points
their
per
opponents
game.
to yeah, their defensive rating is number 2 in the
Oh,
league.
defensive rating. I got you.
Yeah, and they're holding their opponents to their 3-point percentage to 29%, 29.5%. I'm like, damn, the Warriors are playing really good defense out there. And then they've been playing really good without Steph. And then they're attempting like 41 threes on 40% shooting. So that's a big reason of why they winning. If they outshoot their opponents from 3, they win. But my question is, can they sustain this? Because we all know you can if you live by the 3, you die by the 3. So how long can they keep up this hot streak of shooting 40% on 43s a game? And then on top of that, they're winning without their second best player playing more than 25 minutes. They got Kaminga. Kaminga's playing like 23 minutes, and they 7-1 right now. And then most of those wins came without Steph. And then and then I moved them up to 4 this week because they had great wins against the Celtics and the Rockets. Those are really 2 good defensive teams that they beat, and they outshot them from the 3. And then when with the Celtics, what surprised me is that the Celtics, their defense isn't as good as it was last year. I mean, they're still a top 10 defense, but they're number 7. I mean, and and I got them at 3 because they're still showing their dominance. They're still beating teams that they're supposed to beat, and they're dominating those teams. Um, and then with Brown being injured, that's for real the only reason why they lost to the Warriors, I believe. Because if Brown was there, I don't think that the Warriors would have did shot that well from 3. Um, and then with the Celtics, only thing that worries me is when they play their opponents, they give up too many threes and they got out rebounded in the 2 losses that they had this season. So you can't let these teams like they're a good defensive team, but you have to crack down on that perimeter defense. And they rebounded. I understand you don't have Porzingis. Luke Cornett just got hurt. I don't even know who they started. What was doing
Is
that?
it
It started with
it's it start with a Q. His last name
yeah.
start with a Q. I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
they
say
started him.
Quetta. I'm gonna say Quetta. It's not that, but that's the closest I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, they started him, and then Jason Tatum didn't rebound that well in that game. I think he had like 4 rebounds. So the Celtics, if they want to continue to show their dominance, they have to crack down on that 3-point line. They have to rebound. They have to.
I mean, like you said, no Porzingis. Al Horford is older, so he's not gonna get out there and give you maybe 8 rebounds a game. Jason Tatum is really their best rebounder.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is like 6'9", but he's their best rebounder. So, I mean, I kind of get it. And you said the 2 losses they've been out rebounded. That's what you said.
Yeah, they've been out
So
rebounding
that
and
was
they
the
gave up too
Pacers.
many threes.
Pacers, who are a bigger team than them, and if you want to say this game against the Warriors, they technically kind of are bigger than them, technically. So it kind of makes sense. But one sport, and like you said they're kind of lower. Their defense hasn't gotten isn't as good as last year. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Porzingis isn't there. He was there majority of last year, so that makes a difference. But I'm not sweating on the Celtics. Though. I'm not sweating on them. They're still a great team. Still a great team. Like they still been blowing teams out, even though 2 of them against the Hornets, but that's neither here or there. They still been playing good basketball, so I'm not like worried about them. The Suns, they did rise to number 3, and I had them last week. I had them at number 8. I had them at number 8. The Suns have been playing some damn near great basketball, man. Kevin Durant been playing. He's been playing really good. Devin Booker been playing good too, and I think Bradley Beal. I think he knows his role. He's he's not gonna be dropping 20 plus every night, but if he needs to, he will. He will. And Nurkic has been playing pretty good too. He's been crashing the boards a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it. And Tyus Jones has been doing what we thought he was, distributing the ball. He's always, I think he probably averages off the top of my head before I look, seven assists, maybe 8. But the Suns, they deserve to be at number 3.
Yeah, I kept the Suns at 3 for my last week's ranking.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Durant, they've been on a 6-game winning streak, and
Mm-hmm.
part of that is because of Durant. Durant has been playing like Durant. You know what I mean? Last year, I felt like he was playing at like Durant at times, but he took a back seat to Booker, and then when Bill came back, trying to get Bill acclimated instead of him just being Kevin Durant and letting them acclimate to him. So I think Kevin Durant is playing like the old Kevin Durant. Book has been playing way better defensively. He's been competing defensively. And then on top of that, they all been, for the most part, been healthy this season. They all been playing on the court together. So that's another big reason of why they are on this 6-game winning streak. Like you said with Tyus Jones has been playing great. In like the last 6 games, he's averaged like 6, 7 assists with only 1 turnover. And if you playing like that, that's going to win you a lot of ball games because you're not giving the ball to the other team. You're keeping your turnovers down, and you're getting your best players the ball in their spots. Um, and they had 2 good wins this week against the 76ers and the Heat. Even though the
Is
Heat
that a
aren't
good
as
win?
good. I mean, they beat the
The
Heat by what,
Sixers, though.
1
Is
or
that a
2?
good win?
I mean,
Technically,
they
is it
made
a good win?
it's to me it's a good win. They
It's
closed
not to
out that
me.
game. The
They've
Sixers
been bad.
the Sixers were supposed to win that game, and they
Been
closed it
bad.
out. They
I'm
closed it
not.
out. They got the stop that
I'm not
they
counting
needed,
that.
and they closed it out.
I'm not counting that a good
um,
win.
even though the Suns, like I looked up like the defensive rating, they're number 8, but when you look at it, they don't look like a number 8 defensive rating team. They had close games against the Clippers, Portland, Sixers, and Heat. Though the Clippers have been playing really good, but if you go from roster to roster, you would obviously say the Suns have the better roster. So you would think the Suns would have not, well, I wouldn't say blown them out, but they would have beat them by double digits at least. Same with Portland. They had a close game against Portland. They was not supposed to have a close game against Portland. And then, like you just said they shouldn't have had the close game against the Sixers because the Sixers really aren't a good team right now. And the same with the Heat. But they all were close games. And then I mean I still give them credit for pulling it out. That's why I still kept them at 3, but they defenses were that worries me.
Defense been good though. They're I just looked it up. They're 7. Yeah, they're 7 in opponent field goal percentage. I mean the Suns, they've been playing some defense, and I think Budenholzer has made it the prime that we're gonna play some defense. Like that's what we're gonna do. Points per game, they're 14th. That is what it is, but the opponent field goal percentage in the top 10, that's pretty good. So you gotta give it to the Suns, man. They've been playing some good ball. And our last 2 teams, obviously the Thunder and the Cavs. The Thunder, I think even if they did win last night, I still probably would have put them at 2. I think the Cavs just been playing Some really great basketball. Some really great basketball. If if you want to say the Bucks getting them 2 wins against the Bucks, if you want to say the first win was a good win, I'm cool. The second win, Giannis ain't play, so I'm not counting that. I feel like you were supposed to beat them. Damian Lillard just was hot that game, and it was just too. It was close. It shouldn't have been that close. But the Cavs, they deserve to be number one, man. Good defense. They're starting to get together. Darius Garland has been playing good basketball recently. Donovan Mitchell has been good. He ain't been Donovan Mitchell lately, but it's only is like 8. It's 9. They've been playing 9 games. But I'm looking at Darius Garland, who has been playing way better basketball. So they deserve to be at number one. The Thunder, I mean, the Thunder have been playing great. You said it last week. They damn near got number one defense, and the defense has been playing good. It's just last night. I mean, what can you do? You're gonna lose. Jokic played amazing. Russell Westbrook had a throwback game. Like the Nuggets just played a little bit better than them, and they closed it out. But the Thunder, they deserve to be at number two because they've been one of the most complete teams all year.
Yeah, the Cavs. I moved the Cavs all the way up from 1. I had them at 4 last week.
I had them at
And part
three.
is that you had them at 3.
I did last week.
And part of that is like you said, Garland has been playing good. He's been shooting better from the field. Um, and with Mobley offense looks better. I mean, he's only averaging 2 more points than he did last year, but his offense just looks more smoother and it looks better, and he looks more comfortable out there. Um, and they're still a top defensive team. And then Donovan Mitchell, I don't agree. I think Donovan Mitchell has been Donovan Mitchell. He's had like one bad game, 2 bad games this season. He
For
had
his
14 and
standards.
19.
For his standards, I'm saying. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
14 and 19 in them 2 games, but every other game he done dropped at least 20 or more. So I'm not really I wouldn't say he's not being Donovan Mitchell. But that on top of that, that clutch win that he had, that step back that he
Oh
had
yeah.
against the Bucks, that was clutch. That was clutch.
Mhm.
When I look at Donovan Mitchell so far this season, it looks like he's on a different time. It's like he believes that they can actually have a shot at the championship. I mean, if Mobley and Garland and all them keeps playing how they supposed to play, then maybe. Because you never know what happens by the time the playoff comes. Injuries, anything can happen. Um, but yeah, they're 9-0, so you have to give them the number one ranking. They're the only team that's not defeated yet. And then with the Thunder, I moved them down to 2 only because they lost to the Nuggets. So if they would have won against the Nuggets, I would have put them 1. I would have put the Cavs 2. The Thunder, they've been like the Celtics. They've been dominating the teams they're supposed to dominate, and they've been doing everything that they need to do to win. Jalen Williams has upped all his stats from last year, from points, rebounds, assists, and steals. Chet has been rebounding better than since last year, um, and he's been playing better offensively. So the Thunder look really good. They look really good. I think they're going to be able to keep this up all season. And we may have been wrong. They might get that win total that they got last year again if they keep this up.
I mean, I said I thought they was gonna win 50 something. I don't think you said they was gonna get not 50 at all or something like that.
No, I think I said like low 50s because last year they had what?
57, I think. I think 57.
Like yes, I think I said like low
57.
50s. Yeah, I
And
think I
their
said
win
like
total,
51,
it
52.
probably was like somewhere around there, 56, some 56, something around there. It was something around there. But yeah, these teams they deserve to be in the week 2 power rankings. And let's see what in our week 3 power rankings though. So that is it for our week 2 NBA power rankings. Next, we're going to talk about Joel Embiid getting suspended. Obviously, he got suspended because he had an altercation with a beat reporter for the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, just Philadelphia beat in general. He pushed him in the locker room because he had some comments about obviously his deceased brother and his son, and talking about he's not playing, he's taking games off, he's injured all the time, stuff like that. In the NBA, they suspended him. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first and foremost. I believe that as a reporter, you report on that player. You don't report on that player's family. You don't you anything in his personal life you don't report on. Although what he reported wasn't that bad, um, you still don't report on anybody's personal life, bro. Because people are you don't know how sensitive people are with that. Um, I don't think Joel Embiid should have put his hands on him. Because now you're obviously costing your team games now since you're suspended for 3 games. I don't think he should have put his hands on him. He definitely should have said something to him or addressed him. Um, but I don't think the reporter it was that I don't think it was that bad enough for Joel to put his hands on him. I think Joel was just emotional because he was talking about his deceased brother, and his child. I think the reporter said something along the lines of like, yeah, you got your deceased brother and your child, but you're still not doing nothing. You're still not healthy. You're still not in games, and you talking about this is your motivation. Well, you're still not doing nothing. So it's like it's like a slippery slope. He didn't say nothing really wrong, but you still shouldn't bring anybody personal life into it. You should just keep it strictly basketball. He could have said all of that without mentioning his deceased brother or his child.
So I know I saw like other reporters, they said like he's always had like problems with him because I think he just talks about him just not being on the floor and hurt all the time. But I do believe that he probably doesn't. I think athletes, they don't care if you talk about my money, I'm hurt, my play, whatever. But family, that's a different story. I feel like there is
Mhm.
really no reason to bring that up. And I kind of get it. Because I don't quote me, but I think he was saying like, you're using like your deceased brother's name because that's his son's name. His deceased brother's name is his son's name, and you're using that as motivation, and that's what you're playing for. But you're not on the court to basically play for that. Okay, I get it, but there you don't have to say all of that. There's no reason to just critique the man play like everybody does and move on. And I do believe
Mhm.
Joel, I think it was just in the moment he saw him. He said, "All right, brother, you doing too much now. You bringing up my dead family member's name and my son. I'm gonna put the hands on you." And that's basically what he did. He basically put the hands on him. So I think he was just emotional. But I've been seeing other reporters say it probably really wasn't him saying his son. It was just probably people just saying you get hurt all the time, and that was just the breaking point. Because he has been hurt. And also when he said even before that, he was talking about I've done too much for this effing city. And then I'm tired of seeing people when they keep saying, "Well, what have you done? You haven't done nothing." I think, bro, I think what he's saying is he's been trying to play through all these injuries to help get a championship. Every playoffs he's getting hurt. Honestly, if he really wanted to, he could say, "Forget it. I'm too hurt. I don't want to play. I can't play." He could do that if he really wanted to. No, he doesn't. Every time he has a broken face, played through that. Had a messed up knee, played through that. Last year, had Bell's palsy, messed up face, had a knee injury, played through that. And I think that's what he's saying. Yes, he hasn't done anything. He's been an all-star, been an all NBA, won an MVP. But he's trying to do enough for him to get on the court to help win. And I mean, you can't control injuries. Injuries just happen. And I think that's what he means by he's done too much. Because he could shut it down if he really wants to. Because then if he shut it down, then y'all really gonna say he's soft. He ain't this, he ain't that. But when he does play, here we are critiquing his play because you haven't done anything. Yes, you hurt, but you haven't done anything in the playoffs. So he's in a lose-lose situation regardless.
Philly's fan base is different though. Like they don't care if you're hurt. They don't if you're out there on that court, you're there to win. They are very passionate fans. And I get it, but at the same time, like you said, you gotta realize what he's doing for your city. Like, yeah, he hasn't won you guys a championship or taking you guys to the finals, but like you said, the man is literally out there playing on one leg, face messed up several times and he's still out there giving y'all 30 and 10, 30 and 12. Like you can't y'all gotta cut him some type of slack. They forgetting he's 7 foot, damn near 300 pounds. Like, that's not a normal human being. So of course, big man, they've always had problems, injury problems, where it's their feet, their knees, or whatever the case may be. So it's like you got like I understand you guys want him out there and you want to win and you believe you can win with him. But like you said, injuries they happen. You can't it's not like he's out there trying to get hurt. Like, come on, now. It's not like he doesn't want to play for you guys or want to win you guys a championship. He does. It's just that every season he gets hurt, and it sucks. That's a part of the game, though.
Like, because I know if that was me, bro, people I've seen people get hurt. I've seen people have migraines that say, forget it and don't come back in the game. The man's face was literally messed up. He was literally messed up. And I think a lot of people would have said, yeah, I'm good, man.
Forget
I
it.
can't play through this.
Hmm.
He played through it. Had a messed up knee, had that nasty dunk, and landed on his knee wrong. I thought that was it. I thought he tore it. I thought he tore his knee after he did that alley-oop to himself. What'd he do? He came back in the game and played that whole series. So, yes, that's what he's talking about. Yes, he hasn't accomplished anything outside of the MVP, but that's what he's playing. That's what he's playing for. And I think that's what he's talking about. So I agree with him. He has done a lot. He has done too much for the city, and y'all just not giving him credit for it. But like you said, that's what Philly does. That's in any
The man
sport for them, man. If you playing bad, they
that
go boo you regardless. It don't matter.
that man is literally he's literally putting his health at risk for y'all. He doesn't have to do that at all. You know what I mean? He's out there playing on injuries when he can mess up his body even more, won't be able to play with his kids, won't probably be able to walk right if if he continues to play and something, God forbid, something really bad happens while playing on his injuries. But he's doing that for y'all, and y'all don't even care. Like the man, like you said, that dunk that he had, he literally could have messed up his knee, and it could have been a career-ending injury. Because the way he fell, I thought it was a wrap too. And so it's like the man is doing all that for y'all, and y'all can't give him no type of credit. I mean, it sucks. It sucks.
It does, man. But he's supposed to be back. He's supposed to be back Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Oh,
Tuesday.
is it Wednesday? Tuesday? Okay. Whatever the
Tuesday.
day against the Knicks, he's supposed to be back that game. All right, now we're gonna transition into KD versus the media. Obviously, Stephen A had some words. Don't quote me, but he talked about this was like some weeks ago though. He talked about Kevin Durant isn't a leader and all that. Just like everybody says, it's be the same stuff. Kevin Durant is a leader. This, and that. Then Kevin Durant said that, all he does go on First Take, talk about players, hasn't been in the locker room, hasn't been on the NBA court, yada yada yada. And then Stephen A. Smith fired back on his podcast, and he basically said, you didn't have to go to Brooklyn. Why'd you go to Golden State? You should have went to the Knicks. All that stuff. So, what are your takeaways from KD versus Stephen A. Smith?
Well, I mean, with KD, I'm not mad at him for responding to everything, but at the same time, I am because it's like you with a player that great, you don't want people tarnishing your legacy, and I totally get that because Kevin Durant is one of the best basketball players to ever grace the NBA. So it's like anytime somebody says anything about your legacy, I understand you want to retaliate, but some things just don't need a comment. You know what I mean? You don't have to comment on everything. And I feel like he commented on Stephen A because Stephen A is one of the biggest voices in media right now. Um, but as far as Stephen A and talking about his leadership, I don't agree. I think that KD, like Kawhi, he's one of those leaders where I'm going to show you. So you're going to see me in practice every day. You're going to see me before practice, after practice, getting up shots. You're going to see me working out game speed. You're going to see all these things that I'm doing so you can follow my lead and you can become a better player. And you can become a better player and you can learn from me. So it's like there's different styles of leadership. And
Yeah,
you don't always have to be vocal. You don't always have to be in someone's face. You don't always have to get on somebody's ass and to be considered a good leader. And then on top of that, the best player isn't always the leader.
yes.
You know what I mean? So just because Kevin Durant is the best player on the team, when he was with the Warriors, he was the best player on the team. But I believe Draymond was their leader. I believe it was Draymond and Steph as their leaders, mostly Draymond. But just because you're the best player doesn't mean you're the leader. So when Stephen A. saying that he's not a leader, I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree.
I was just about to say that. Just because you're the best player, don't make you the automatic leader. Like I feel like you said with Kawhi. He shows it with his play. And Kevin Durant, I mean, he always been like an introvert. He always stays himself. He goes and hoops. He goes home, hoops, and does whatever things, maybe with his business or whatever, and probably go out time here and there. But I mean, he's not that type of person that talking and getting the troops rally up. That's never been him. Like you can even say in OKC, he most likely wasn't the leader on that team. It
Hurt.
probably was
Had
Russ.
Kendrick Perkins.
It probably was Russ, Kendrick Perkins, Serge Ibaka, all of them. They probably was the leaders. But Kevin Durant was definitely the best player, but he wasn't the de facto leader. And it's like Stephen A. Smith, I don't know. It's like they always got something against each other. And I don't know why. They got like, I don't know if it's fake beef or real beef. I don't know. But Kevin Durant, I mean, I have no problem with him responding to everybody. I think he said it. He just likes, I think he's one of them. He's probably one of the few players, I think, in sports, period, that responds to people. Because I know, bro, everybody probably gets responses and they don't even sniff a person. Every time somebody say something to him, he goes to talk right back. And I think that's good. And I think that's cool that maybe your favorite player or a player that you admire just responds to your comment. It might be negative, but he still responded. And I mean, I don't got a problem with him defending himself. You talking about me, so I'm gonna tell you what's up. And then a lot of people who on there think they know more than him. Bro, you don't know more than this dude. He's played basketball for a living. He's been in NBA locker rooms. How you gonna tell this man? Like, come on, bro. Be serious. So Stephen A. Smith, he don't have to respond. And probably Kevin Durant, he probably saw the Stephen A. Smith on his podcast. He probably gonna respond to him again. He most likely will. But I will say this. I do agree that I think he should have went to the Knicks, though. I think he should have did that. I think he did follow. Like, I don't think he's like, yes, Kyrie, let's go. I think he just said, hey, man, if you think that's best for us, man, let's go. I think that's what he did. I don't want to say he was glazing him or nothing, but I just think he said, if you think that's what's up, man, that's better. Because I know it was a report. I got to look it up again, but it was a report saying that, they wanted to build a legacy in Brooklyn more than New York, because it's like New York is obviously bigger as a basketball team and just community is bigger than Brooklyn. So I think they would get more praise saying Brooklyn,
they won in Brooklyn
more than if they won in Brooklyn more than they did in New York. I kind of don't believe that, because I feel like if they won in New York, they build some statues for them too. I ain't gonna cap, but that's neither here or there. So I do agree. He just said, hey man, if you think that's cool, if you think that's right for us, and business wise and just our play wise, let's go to Brooklyn. But I do think he should have went to the Knicks, though. I definitely agree with that.
With the whole Stephen A. thing, Stephen A. is not just pulling this out his ass. I think he's hearing it from somebody that's like within the organization that sees KD every day or something. Because even though Stephen A. is not in those locker rooms or in those practices 24/7, he's getting this information from somewhere. Stephen A. isn't the type of person that would just make up anything. So although what he be saying might not be true, he's hearing it from someone that he deems as a credible source. But those people, they probably don't even know Kevin Durant for real. Because like we said, if you knew him, like you said, he's an introvert. And on top of that, he's the type of leader that leads by example. So it's I think Stephen A. was just getting his information from other people within that organization that's close to KD. But as far as the Knicks and Nets, I do believe that Kyrie told him, like, hey bro, if we go to the Nets, that championship it will hold more value than winning for the Knicks, because the Nets I don't think they won a championship, have they?
I don't think they have. I don't think
Unless it was like in the ABA or some shit like that. Like, I don't think they've won a championship. Or if they did, it was like one.
Yeah, they
But
did. They won two in the ABA in 74 and 76.
the ABA. I know they won them. But anyways, I think Kyrie was like, yeah, you know what? If we go here and we win here, this could be the first NBA championship in the NBA era, and it'll be bigger than the Knicks. But like you said, I mean, I agree, but I don't, because if you win with the Knicks, bro, you know how big y'all are gonna be. Y'all gonna be on every media platform, regardless. Even if y'all won with the Knicks, y'all still gonna be on every media platform. But it's gonna be bigger with the Knicks, because the Knicks is the bigger organization. So they're gonna have your faces plastered everywhere. You're gonna be on every news outlet. Like you're just gonna be everywhere. Versus if you were with the Nets, like yeah, you're gonna get some media coverage, but it's not gonna be as big if it was with the Knicks. I think you should have went to the Knicks too. I think you should have went there too. I think they would have had a better team.
I think it would have been the same thing though, because I mean the Knicks had two max spots too, so they still would have had to sign, like some okay players. And then I gotta go back and look at what good players did they have, like what good players would they have while signing with them? Because remember they did sign with the Nets. Karis LeVert was already there. Jared Allen was
Spencer
already there.
Dinwiddie.
Spencer Dinwiddie was already there. All those players was already there. If I had to think, I don't think the Knicks had nobody that was good back then.
I don't think so either.
So
I
I don't know
mean,
what the team
I
would
think
have
they
been like.
did. What year was that?
We're in 24, so that was like 2020. No, 1920. So the 1920 season. So whoever they had on that team, I don't think they would have had some good players. New York
Nah, they
Knicks.
did. I mean, they had Tim Hardaway Jr., they had DeAndre Jordan, they had Kevin Knox, Wesley
Ugh,
Matthews, Porzingis, Mitchell Robinson, Dennis Smith.
not a good team.
Yeah.
Not a good team. Not a good team. It's not a good team. It's not. Yeah, that team would have been. They would have been bad for like a year. They would have been definitely bad that first year, especially Kevin Durant. He was coming back from Achilles, so he wasn't gonna play that year anyway. So that team would have been really bad. But then the next year, maybe they're better. Maybe they're better. But yeah, that's it for Kevin Durant versus Stephen A. Smith. Now we're gonna talk about Coach Popovich. Obviously, Gregg Popovich, he's dealing with some type of illness. He missed the past 2 games for the Spurs, I think. And obviously, Gregg Popovich is one of the best NBA coaches ever. And just to see that they're talking about that this is a legit concern with his health is actually kind of pretty scary. So, what do you want to say about Coach Popovich's health?
Did they say what type of
I don't
illness
think
it
they're gonna
was
say
or
what it
no?
is. I don't think they're gonna release that. They just
Well,
saying it's an illness.
first and foremost, I hope Pop gets well. Like you say, he's one of the best coaches to ever coach in the NBA. And his impact on the game is enormous. So I hope that he has a speedy recovery. And with him gone, it's like how well will Victor Wembanyama develop? I'm thinking Victor's going to be good regardless. But with Pop, it's different because Pop has all that knowledge of coaching Tim, David Robinson, and a bunch of other great players, so he can pour that knowledge into him. I mean, he can still help him out, calling and texting him, but being there in practice every single day is different. And then with the other young players, Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle, I think they're the ones that's going to really like hurt from him not being there because, like I said, he's not there in practice every single day to critique them or tell them what they could have done differently or have them look at the game in a different lens. Um, but I hope Papa gets better. I hope he comes back sometime this season, and hopefully, like still my hot take, they gonna make the playoffs. I mean, the Warriors look like they gonna make the playoffs, but so far, but hopefully they do it for Pop and they win some more games.
First of all, shout out to the 6 people that was in here. Now it's 3, but shout out to y'all, the 6 people that was in here. Hope y'all staying here and keep commenting. We have a comment, but I will get to that after this, after we talk about Coach Popovich. But with Coach Popovich, I hope he has a speedy recovery. I pray nothing terrible happens, but hoping for a speedy recovery. He is one of the best coaches ever. He's won 5 championships, and all of them were kind of basically with different teams besides like the first 3. Had Tim Duncan, had Manu, had Tony Parker, had Kawhi Leonard at a young age, and now he has Victor. But like, I don't know like how this will impact Victor Wembanyama and that whole team. I still think they are young. They're still just a young team in general. And I think I saw that the dude that's been that's on the bench, he's been there for a minute. I think he was their G League coach, and then he came up. I think when Tim Duncan and Becky Hammond was on the coach, so that had to been like probably like 7-8 years ago. I think something around there. So I think he has knowledge, and he's been right there with Coach Popovich every year, every game. So, I mean, I think the Spurs, I think they're going to still be okay. I think, they lost yesterday. They play again tonight. But I think they'll be all right. But Coach Popovich, I do hope he's better. And he's one of the greats, man. He's definitely one of the greats. All right. That is it for Coach Gregg Popovich. And now we have a comment from Francisco Rosales. What team do you think is the best for Giannis right now? First, I'll go first. I'll say the best team for Giannis right now. I'm gonna go with the Heat. I think the Heat need another player on that team right now. Off the top of my head, I would come back to who they should trade for probably later in the pod, but they will have to give up a significant amount of people for Giannis. But I think Giannis, he brings that rebound, he brings that defense. I think he is a Heat culture type player for them, and what they've been missing just another consistent scoring option. And you're basically getting 30, 12, and 5 every night. Now the shooting gets bad, but that doesn't matter. But I think Giannis is best fitting for the Miami Heat right now as we speak.
Mm, I mean the Heat. I mean, what I've been seeing everywhere is the Heat and the Knicks. I would low key go with the Knicks. I think him, Jalen, and if they can keep Cat, that would be an amazing big three. I don't see, I don't see anyone stopping that because if you trade him to Miami, I mean, you're gonna have to give up a bunch of people. They don't even have anything to give up, really. So anything that y'all do give up, y'all team is gonna be complete ass. So I think that the Knicks would be the best option because at least they can give up some of their pieces and still retain somewhat of a decent team.
The only reason I didn't bring up the Knicks is if I'm the Knicks, I don't think I'm trading Cat. I will probably OG will be in there. OG, I think, will be
Hmm.
because you do got to have the salaries to match. And since OG getting paid almost 40 something mil a year, I think he will be in the trade. Now, Mikhail, I'm gonna try my hardest not to give him up and try to give up some other players, maybe like Tyler Kolek. I don't even think the Knicks have
McBride, I
picks.
give up McBride. I give up McBride.
You might have to put McBride in there. I would low key try to keep McHale, but I think OG will be obviously not the centerpiece, but for the player the Knicks give up the best player, it will probably be OG. I'm keeping Cat. I'm definitely
Hmm.
trying to keep him at all costs.
I mean, when then just looking at all these other teams, I don't really see any other team that he can really
The
go to
only other team,
that he would
my
want to go
bad,
to.
it was Brooklyn. That was a team they said, it was Brooklyn. And because Brooklyn has a lot of money. Because they in that sweepstakes for Jimmy. There was a
Yeah.
report saying that Jimmy is linked to them. And I think because they got a lot of cap space, they're probably still gonna be bad, even though right now, surprisingly, they're fourth in the East. But it's early, but that's neither here or there. But they have a lot of money. They could potentially get, say, a Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, and all that. And then if you get that, hey, you're looking at something pretty nice. And I think that's why Brooklyn is linked. But I'm gonna go with the Heat. Francisco Rosales. Yeah, I do think the Heat too. They don't have a number one option, and Giannis gives them. Also, could boost Adebayo by not doing all that defense inside. Yeah, their defense would
But
be
see,
very better. Will definitely be better though.
the thing is, what are they gonna give up for Giannis? That's the only
So
thing. I mean, they're gonna try to keep Bam, of course. But then if you just have
no,
Bam
I'm
and
not.
Giannis, the rest of your team is not gonna be really that good. I mean, what they gonna have to give up Tyler Hero. They're gonna
Yes,
have
Tyler
to.
Hero. Or I might try to sneak in Terry Rozier.
They're not gonna take Terry and not Tyler. You got to give me Tyler. You have to. You gotta give me Tyler. I don't even think they have any picks. Do they even have any picks?
I'm trying to look at that now.
But you gotta give me Tyler.
I think they have
Other than Tyler,
some picks. So
other
Jimmy
than
is making 48, Bam's making 34, Tyler 29, Terry 24, Duncan 19. Man, Duncan been getting paid for a minute, bro. I feel like he been on this
yeah,
same contract forever. Like,
but and so it's like with the Heat going. I'm not the Heat. The Bucks, they're gonna want something in return. Tyler Hero is not gonna be enough just for Giannis, and they're not gonna give up Bam, and you're not gonna want to take Terry and Tyler because you already got Dame. So it's like you're gonna have to give up Jimmy. So I don't even think Jimmy's gonna be there. So it'll really just be Bam, Giannis,
so
and what Terry.
so they have a 2026 first round, that's their own, and a 2026 Lakers. That's a second round pick, and then the rest are their own. So technically, picks wise, they kind of don't have anything.
Well, you're gonna have to give me that 2026 first round for sure. You're gonna have to give me that. You're gonna have to give me Hero, and then you gotta give me a little bit more.
I might
Jimmy gonna
give
have to be
you,
special.
let me think, I would give, I ain't gonna cap, might try to, if it was me, I give you that 2026. I give you Jaime, I give you Khalil Ware, and I give you Terry. But if you don't want
No,
Terry, I give you Tyler. It might have to sneak in Duncan Robinson. But the monies have to match.
I don't think Pat Riley doing that, John. I don't think he's doing that.
I mean, Pat
That's
Riley
not
gotta
enough.
do something, man. I've been calling Pat Riley like he hasn't done good
Not
recently.
Pat Riley. Who's the GM for the Bucks? I don't even know who
I'm
the
not
GM
even
for the
gonna act
Bucks
like I
is.
know. I'm not even gonna
I
act
don't
like
even think he's gonna do that, bro. I don't think he's gonna do. That's not nearly enough in the return for Giannis.
Giannis is getting paid 48 million this year. So if you want to max the contracts, let me go back to the Miami Heat payroll. So, okay, we're gonna probably have to put Tyler Hero in there. He's making 29. Duncan Robinson, he's making 19. What's that? I suck at math. So that's
It's
48.
like it's 48.
48, just like that, baby. 48. And I know you
No,
probably want some extra. I give y'all Khalil Ware. I give y'all Khalil Ware. And Jaime, he might have to be in there. And then y'all gotta if they're cleaning house though, could they sneak Chris Middleton in there and try to give them Chris Middleton, even though he's always hurt?
I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that.
But I
I
mean,
wouldn't
if you're the
even.
Heat, you gotta I mean, not the Heat. If you're the Bucks, you do need building pieces. Though
I mean, but you still got Dame, so it's like
they probably
they
flip
low
Dame
key
somewhere
still.
else.
Well, if they flip Dame, then okay, that this trade talk is totally different. But if they still trying to keep Dame, I'm not
Would
doing
you
that because that's
would you
not going to
keep
help me
Dame
win
though?
at
You
all.
trade Giannis, why would you keep Dame?
I mean,
For
because they're
what?
still in win now.
You
They're
ain't
still
win
in
now if
win
you
now.
losing Giannis. You ain't in win now. You
I
going
mean, first,
into being bad now. You ain't in no
it
win now.
depends. It depends on who you flip them to. It depends on who you flip them to.
No,
You
but
get
no,
more.
but
You will get
no,
more
but I'm
pieces.
saying though, if let's just say they do that trade or whatever. Why am I keeping Dame if I'm trading away a top 3 player in the NBA? I'm not in win now though. You
I don't
can't.
think they. I don't think they want to flip Dame. I think they want to keep him. I
For
wouldn't even.
what?
First off, I wouldn't even look at the Heat. They don't have enough trade value or trade pieces over there. If anything, I'm going to the Knicks. The Knicks can give me more than what y'all giving me.
Honestly, I don't think the Knicks can give them more. I don't even know what the
I
Knicks
like
got.
OG. I like
Okay, if you're
OG.
talking about that, okay, I'm
Um,
cool.
that's what I'm talking about. Player. I like OG better than Tyler Hero. I
Okay, I'm
like.
cool with that.
What else? I like probably getting Mikal Bridges and McBride than all the rest of them than Jaime and Khalil Ware. I mean, yeah, he said the Warriors would be a good option. Yeah, that would be. The Warriors would be a good option. Um
The Warriors
but
have
it's
more
different.
pieces than all of them.
Yeah, but even though playing with Dame, he hasn't been that good. Playing with Steph is totally different. That's totally Dame needs the ball in his hands. Steph does not need the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
So
so it'd be better.
Steph will literally let Giannis do what he want to do, and he'd be right there in the corner or on the wing shooting them threes. Steph wouldn't care. But the only thing is, how will he coexist with Draymond? That's the only thing.
I think it could work. I think it'll work. Giannis will definitely be center now. I think they probably gonna transition to him being a center later. If he stays with the Bucks, I think he's gonna transition to being a center though, instead of being a power forward. But no, though, I was just only saying like I said, if they do that trade, even if they did do the Bucks, the Knicks trade, you still not winning a championship though, unless you just want to be competitive. Like if you want to be competitive, I'm cool. But if you think you're gonna really win a championship with Dame and OG and like you said earlier, McBride, like no, you ain't winning no championship. But if you want to stay competitive, I'm cool with keeping Dame. But if we know we're not going nowhere, I'm gonna flip him. Boy, the minute I see on SportsCenter breaking news, Giannis gets traded to such and such. Dame, you gone too, brother. Because why would I want to pay Dame $60 million? He gonna be like 36. Oh no. Dame getting paid a lot of money. He getting paid a lot of money. And then we know we ain't gonna win. I'm not paying that. Let me look. So Dame is getting paid 54. No, he's gonna get paid 54 next year and then 58 for a player option. And he's gonna pick that up. He's gonna be 36. Hell no. I'm good on that. You gonna be gone too, brother. Bye-bye. But thank you, Francisco Rosales, for the topic, man. You know, I like when people send us something and we can talk about it, man. That just makes the podcast more fun and just something different to talk about, man. So keep sending the comments, man. We're gonna reply, we're gonna say your comment, and then if it's a good subject, we definitely gonna talk about it. So keep the comments coming, man. Keep the comments coming. All right. The next thing we're gonna do is who, in your opinion, has been the most disappointing players in the NBA so far?
Oof. I got a couple of them. First and foremost, I'm gonna go with your boy, Tyrese
I already
Halliburton.
know. You're on my list too.
He has been disappointing. I don't know if it's the snow bunnies. I don't know if
Why are you blaming that
the
when
league.
he already had one? Why are we
Bro,
blaming
every
that? He
every every
already
athlete
had one though.
every athlete knows you're not supposed to have sex before a game because it hurts your
How do you know
performance.
he's having that though?
Every athlete knows that.
How do you
Every
know he's
athlete
having
knows
that
that, bro.
though?
So
How
I
do you
don't
know
know
though?
if it's the snow buddies. I don't know if it's the snow buddies. I don't know if the league has figured him out. I don't know if he's just off to a slow start. I don't know what it is, but he has to pick it up. Ain't no way you was giving me 20 and 10 last year, and now you're barely doing it. Ain't nothing changed. The offense hasn't changed. You haven't added nobody for real besides Siakam, but he came later on in the season. So it's like I don't get why he's struggling like this. I don't know what it is, but he has been very disappointing this season.
You know, I don't know why we're blaming snow bunnies when he already had one. So seen one video and think, oh, he already had one.
Bro, he popping up with snow
one,
bunnies left and right, G.
but
Every
he
video you see
already
him in, it's a
had
different
one
snow
though.
bunny.
But he
It's a
already
different one.
had one though. That's the thing. So I can't blame that when he already had one. I'm gonna be biased and say, I think the league just been figuring out. I think the league is figuring him out that he does this one thing. He don't got a bag or whatever. He do like a little step back three and it be missing. Like I'm looking at him now, like you said, he averaged 20 and 10 last year, shooting 36% from three. Now this year he's averaging 15 points, barely 9 assists, and shooting 27% from three. He hasn't been playing good. I'm not gonna say bad, but he hasn't been playing good enough to where he was last year, though. Like, yes, I know they beat the Mavericks the other day. That was a surprising win. They beat them, and then they beat the Magic last night. You know, the Magic Day. Yeah, it is what it is. But it is what it is. So I think he's gonna eventually get it up, get better. He's just been playing really bad now, man. Surprisingly, Miles Turner has been playing pretty good. Ben Mathurin has been playing really good too. Andrew Nembhard hasn't been playing good, but the team overall has been playing decent enough to where they can pick up the slack for him. But once he does get it together, the Pacers will be fine. They'll be okay. But he is not playing good so far. He hasn't. I actually got one person. I don't think he's playing bad, but I think it's underwhelming. Victor Wembanyama. I think he's not playing like how a lot of people thought he was. Like so far, he's probably only had 2 really good games, like 2. Obviously, the 5x5 game, and then it was another game he
That
played
9
good.
blocks. Yeah,
Yeah,
9 blocks.
the 5x5 game. Like he hasn't given me like the 20 something, the 12 rebounds, and like the 4 assist type games consistently though. He hasn't been that, and people starting to think, hey man, he might be overrated. It's like, bro, shut up. It's not. Shut up. You gotta stop. Stop it.
First off, it's a whole new offense, and there's different players there now, bro. Like he still got to get acclimated to the new offense and stuff.
He's averaging 18. I'm gonna say 10 and like 3 assists. Like, because last year he averaged 21, 10, 4 assists, 3 blocks. The blocks are still there. Blocks still there. The 3-point percentage is way down. And he's attempting 7 3-pointers. I actually didn't know that.
That's a lot.
And shooting 21% from 3. Man, the Halley shoot form was not sustainable at all. And I agree that they figured him out. Wemby needs to stop making threes, and that's a 50% improvement. He does take a lot of threes, though. He does take a lot of threes, man. I mean, I felt like he was just a tall, small forward. It's like a tall,
I feel like he's taking all them threes because he's still not there physically yet. Like when you look at Wemby, like when Jalen Green tried to dunk on him and he blocked it, he fell to the ground. Bro, you're bigger than Jalen Green. Ain't no way you supposed to be falling to the ground off that block, bro. So it's like he still has to get better physically. You know, I think that's the reason why he's shooting so many threes. Cause it's like when I go to the hole, I'm always getting bumped. Whenever he goes to the hole, he's always getting bumped and he's falling down, bro, all the time. So he has to get better physically. Another player that I got is Zion. Zion has been disappointing this year. Zion, for the most part, he missed 3 games so far this season. One was through the illness, and I forgot the other 2, but he's been underwhelming.
I think thigh related.
He's been underwhelming. Zion came into this season. He's lost weight. He looked better physically, and we all thought this was going to be a breakout year for him. And so far, he has not been playing good. So far, in the couple of games he played, 16, 14, 31, 12, 34, and 29. Like he had 3 good games, but the rest are bad. And as a player of Zion's caliber, you can't take off any games. Every game you should be giving me at least 25 or more. At least. And he hasn't been doing that. I don't know if that's because, DeJounte's hurt and, that's more pressure on him and more eyes on him. So they collapse the lane and build a wall like they do with Giannis. But he has to pick it up. If the Pelicans wants to make the playoffs or the play in, he has to pick it
up. And he's not shooting. Surprisingly, he's not shooting a good percentage from the field. Usually, he's been like his first 4 years was 50, 60%. So far, he's only 45%. But I mean, for Zion, that ain't good. You're supposed to be getting 50% from the field because the majority of his layups and a dunk.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of him, but I was like, I think he's just playing okay. I think he's not playing bad. I just think he's just playing okay enough. But, I mean, that team got a lot of injuries, man. It's a lot of injuries on that team. And, yes, you do have your 2 best players, so they should be playing. They should be doing them. But at the same time, you count on a lot of dudes that really don't get a lot of tick to step it up. And that's kind of, that's kind of hard for some teams, man. Like, yeah, like you're counting on Jose Alvarado has been good, but Zion and B.I., they've been decent, but yeah, I think Zion's been kind of underwhelming. Another dude, Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray has not looked the same, honestly, since, if we're being honest, since last year, the regular season. Since the regular season of last year, because he wasn't good against the Lakers. He just hit big shots, so that just went against everything he did in that series. He just hit them 2 clutch shots, and people just say, "Oh, he looks good. He looks good." Jamal Murray, he just hasn't looked the same, man. He's supposed to be really your second best player. I think let me look real quick. He's only giving you 16 points, 4 assists. I think he's way better than that, man. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's an injury related. I don't know. But he hasn't been playing good. He's only shooting 30% from the 3-point line. Like, he's better than that. He just hasn't been playing good so far to start this season. But luckily, Jokic has been so great. So far, it's like it doesn't matter. Let me read this. I disagree in that, CJ. Yeah, Wemby is not that strong, but when he cuts the inside with speed, it's very difficult to defend or block him, mainly because they don't give an F in defending him either way.
I mean, whenever I see the Spurs play, bro, and I see Wemby cut like that, it's like whoever that big is that's boxing him out. Like, yeah, Wemby's taller than every big in the league, but that's how he gets most of his rebounds or putbacks because he's just taller than everybody else. But he isn't when he's crashing in. It's not like he's pushing them under the rim to get these rebounds and putbacks. It's like he's just tall, so he's outstretching everybody. So if he was to get better physically, he would be able to push these other bigs around and be able to compete better, in my opinion. Um, but yeah. Was you still talking about
No.
Zion? Not Zion, Jamal. Jamal. Well, Jamal. Yeah, Jamal has been bad. He's on my list as well.
Okay.
I don't know if Jamal is like still feeling some type of injury or 'cause I know he came into the season injured. So I don't know if that's the reason why he's off to a slow start. But Jamal, he always is off to a slow start to begin the season. Like and then he picks it up later on in the season. But he's always injury prone too, and that's not even talked about. Like he gets injured a lot. Um, but yeah, he's been underwhelming so far. I think he'll pick it back up. Like you said, he's supposed to be your second best player, and I don't even think he's averaging 20 points per game.
I said he was averaging 15.
Yeah, he's averaging like 15, and that's not gonna cut it. If you're my second best player on the team, you got to give me at least 20 plus, at least. And especially for a player of his caliber, yeah. Um, Another player that I got, Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris has been very disappointing.
He never even.
Um,
I never even thought of him. Ain't gonna
Tobias
cap.
Harris has been very disappointing. Last year when he was with the Sixers, he was averaging 17 points per game. So far, he's averaging 13 points, and he's going back to Detroit where he played his best basketball. And when he came back to Detroit, they were thinking of him as their second best player, or if not third, or and I thought he would at least been averaging the same of 17 or if not 20 now, since he's on the Pistons and he's going to be able to take more shots as their second best player. But so far, he's attempting 12 shots a game. He attempted 13 last year, but he's not hitting at the same clip that he was. Um, and then some of those games that the Pistons had earlier in the season, they lost. It's like 2 games that they lost because of him. They were up down in the stretch, and they kicked it to him to the corner three a couple of times, and he missed every single time. If he would have hit those shots in that corner, would have been a different game. The Pistons wouldn't be 3-6 right now. They may be 5-4 or 4-5. Um, so Tobias has been very disappointing for me because he's supposed to be your second leading scorer, if not first leading scorer on that team, and he has not been doing anything at all.
I ain't gonna lie. So Tobias never even thought in my head, but I do agree though. He definitely should be their second best player. But maybe I know you've been high on Jaden Ivey, but maybe a lot of people, maybe in the organization, they probably thought Jaden Ivey really is the second best player, and Tobias maybe be third fiddle. And he's not even third fiddle. Well, stats wise, he's fourth fiddle behind Tim Hardaway. But Tobias Harris, I think he's just playing his role because every time I look up, he just be sitting in the corner shooting a three. He rebounding decent though.
And missing.
He rebounding and shooting, staying in the corner, man, letting K do whatever he want. And then and Tobias, if I gotta think, I need to think. I don't think it was really a lot of good players on that Detroit team. Like that was like better than him though. Like if you want to say Drummond, I think okay, I'm cool. But after that, I don't even know who was on them teams when he was on Detroit. What either good players? At least now he got K, he got Ivy. Jalen Durant is low key better than him. Like he just got more players that's better than him.
Yeah,
So
but if we
you
talking
know,
about scoring wise, he low key they second best scorer.
but look, it's Jaden Ivey now. Though. I mean, it's Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey is their second best scorer. So I mean, I don't know, but I did expect him to at least maybe 18 points, at least 18. Francisco with another comment. It's not like a disappointing per se, but Luka, he has been very hella inefficient.
I mean, we gotta remember Luka came in the season with a calf strain.
Yes,
So
very true.
take that with a grain, take that with a grain of salt. That may, his calf can still be messing with him. So
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't, like you said, it hasn't been disappointing per se, but he's definitely been hella efficient.
Man,
Inefficient.
he's still giving 28, 8, and 8 though. Oh man, that's crazy. On a messed up calf though, he's still giving, but his field goal percentage is down though. 9 for 23, 40%. Do what you want with that. He's still playing decent though. He's still playing decent though. And I feel like these last two for me I think we got the same people. Bam and Jimmy Butler. Those
Yep.
guys have not been
Yep.
good. Those
Yep.
guys have not been good. And it's just another game. We talked about it like last week. Tyler Hero cannot be your best player. And once again, last night, he was their best player and they lose the game. Jimmy has not been good. Bam has not been good. I don't care what nobody say. 5 for 21, it's bad. Jimmy, 6 for
Yes.
13. You got to give me more than 13 shots, brother. 15 points. That is not good. Tyler Hero been on one, man. 28 points. I give him that. But those two guys have not been good. And that's why the Heat are 3 and 4. You need your two best players to be consistent. And they haven't been consistent all year. I think Bam, if I look stats wise, I think he probably only had one really good game. Yeah, the game against the Wizards. Wow, the Wizards, 32 and 14. 3 for 5 and 3, though. It's pretty good for him, at least. But outside of that, he ain't been good. Bam has not been good. And the same goes with Jimmy Butler. I don't know if it's because he's that contract, thinking about that is in his head. I don't know. But those two dudes on the Miami Heat, they've been playing bad.
Hey, Francisco, funny. He talking about Bam been doing it all with Asia this summer. That's why he off to a slow start.
Hey, low cap might be, man. Might be, man.
But yeah, I agree. Especially what's really surprising me is Jimmy. Well, both really, but because Bam has been a consistent guy for the Heat since he's been there. But Jimmy is surprising me because it's your contract year, and you want to get signed, you want to get another big contract. This is your last contract for real, and you want to get paid, and yet you're playing like butt. Like, did you see who did they just lose to? Who did they just lose to?
Yesterday, the Suns?
Yeah, and he didn't know if he wanted to take a game time three, or if he wanted to go for a two, or if he wanted to pass it. And it's like, Jimmy, what are you doing? You're supposed to be the best player on that team, and you're indecisive with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. What are you doing? The Heat don't look good at all. I don't know what's going on with Jimmy. I don't know if it's because he knows Pat Riley doesn't want to re-sign him or sign him to a big contract because of his age. So I don't know if he's like got that in the back of his mind. I don't know if he's thinking about being traded or wanting to be traded, and he has that in his mind. That's why he isn't playing as well as he should. I don't know what it is, but they have to figure it out. And they have to figure it out fast before it gets really ugly.
Do you have any other players? That was it for my
Yeah,
players.
Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges
Mm.
Miles Bridges has been bad to start out the season. Let me see. Let me pull up his stats real
Mm.
quick. Miles Bridges is he's averaging 14 points,
Yeah, that is.
6 rebounds and 2 assists. Last year, he was giving me 21.
Trey
He was
Man is
giving me
averaging more than
21,
him.
7. He was giving me 21, 7, and 3.
Trey Man is
And I
averaging
don't
more
know,
than him.
and that's surprising. I don't know if Miles Bridges is having a bad start to the year because Brandon Miller is there now. Because remember, last year LaMelo was mostly hurt, so he got to take more shots than what he did. So
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone's being healthy. He's like trying to find his groove on the team or what. But so far, it looks like LaMelo and Brandon Miller are your 1-2 punch, and Miles Bridges is your third option. But Miles has to step it up. He has been very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I kind of figured though. I think going into this year was going to be more Brandon Miller though. I didn't think Miles was going to play this bad though, but I didn't. I kind of figured Brandon Miller after he had a really good rookie year. I kind of figured he would be like kind of the number two, and he's basically been that like really like all this year at least. I mean, Miles Bridges had a good game last night, 27 points. Brandon Miller gave you 19. LaMelo is per usual, 25. So I mean, I just didn't think Miles would be this starting off this bad at least. But Brandon Miller being like the second option, that's not surprising me. Francisco Harden is not washed. He's been playing decent. Now I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie, the
Harden
last
not
couple of games ain't been okay. Last couple of games ain't been okay, but majority of the year though, Harden has been good.
He's
He's
been
been good.
playing
He's
good.
been good.
He's been the reason why they've been winning these games.
They've been last game it wasn't Norman Powell. Norman Powell been scoring wise has been the most consistent.
Yeah,
Norman
but
Powell getting
James
you.
Harden, who's running the offense though?
I'm not.
James Harden.
Now I said scoring wise. I said scoring wise. Norman Powell has been the most consistent because Norman Powell is giving you 25. But yes, Harden has been doing everything. Harden is 28-9. So I'm giving you that. He's definitely been the most consistent all around player. But when it comes to scoring, it's been Norman Powell. Hey, Norman Powell been out here. He been out here balling, man. Gotta give him his credit.
I mean, yeah, with James Harden getting double teamed and triple teamed, somebody got to shoot the ball. Somebody got to hit.
I mean, you
And
gotta find a way
Norman
to.
Powell. Norman Powell, they second best scorer. Who else can score on their team for real?
Who else on their team that can score for real? For real?
Nobody that can create their own shot. Well, Kevin Porter.
Yeah, he
But
ain't
he
been
hasn't been
good.
playing
So
good.
he hasn't
He
been
hasn't
good.
been good.
He hasn't been good.
So Norman Powell, they second best scorer.
Oh yeah, that's it for your players.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, that is it for our most disappointing players for the start of the NBA season. Now we're gonna talk about how do we fix these NBA teams. Charles has the teams. What are the teams, brother?
Well, let's start off. Let's start off with the Bucks. Let's start
Oh
off with
God,
them. So how would you fix the Bucks?
I ain't gonna lie. How to fix the Bucks? You gotta let some people like. Wait, are you talking? Let me rephrase this. Are we talking about in the miss right now or just in the future?
No, in the mess right now. In the mess right
Oh
now.
shit!
Just
If
quit to
we
turn
be
their
if you
season
talking about
around.
the miss right now, they ain't really ain't nothing you can really do. But now to fix them, they just really gotta wait on Chris Middleton. I think Chris Middleton, he changed it a lot, and then you'll be able to take Torian Prince out. But Gary Trent has to play a little bit better though. Like I think I was praising like that pickup, and I thought that was a good pickup over Malik Beasley. It has not been a good pickup so far, man. For Gary Trent, man, he has not been that good. Last game against the Cavs, 1 for 7 for 4 points.
Mm-mm.
But if we're
Mm-mm.
being honest, I think you got to play your young guys more though. Andre Jackson, he played 25, and AJ Green he played 34. And I think Marchand Beauchamp, you've been talking about him for a lot. I think he has to play more. I think you really just got to play your younger guys more, man. Especially now, especially if Giannis is still gonna miss some time. Play them young dudes, man. They're gonna give you energy, like you said. They're gonna give you some energy on the defensive end and probably the offensive end. Play them dudes. So that's really what the Bucks need. But man, we being honest, ain't really nothing they could do.
I'm going to look at the minutes right now. They play them. And then, yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right. Harden was my favorite 5 years ago. Oh man, just nostalgia.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think in order to turn around a season, yeah, Chris Middleton has to come back. And like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, you gotta play your young guys more. You see when they played Andre Jackson and they those two games against the Cavs, they were very close games.
Mhm.
Um, so you have to play those young guys more because they give energy to the team and they bring that energy on the floor because they're out there, they're thirsty and they're ready to play. So if they want to turn around their season, also offensive wise, they have to do more Dame and Giannis pick and rolls. The last couple of games they've done it more, but that has to be majority of your offense is a Dame and Giannis pick and roll because it's so hard to guard. I was watching them. Did Giannis play that first game against the Cavs?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. And I seen one. I mean, it was one play. Dame and Giannis they did a pick and roll, and they didn't know who to guard. They didn't know if they wanted to guard Dame or they wanted to guard Giannis. They stepped up on Dame, then Dame dumped it off to Giannis. Giannis missed the layup, but it's like that's there every single time. And even if that's not there, somebody's gonna be open in that corner. And so it's like they need to do Dame and Giannis pick and roll more and more and more because it's so hard to guard. Because it's either you're gonna let Dame pull up on you from three, or pull up on you in the mid range, or he's gonna dump it off to Giannis. And Giannis is gonna dunk on your ass, or Dame is gonna flip it to the corner, or he's gonna dump it off to Giannis, and Giannis is gonna swing it to the corner. Like you have so many options out of that because you have two unguardable players. So they have to do more Dame and Giannis pick and roll, play your young guys more, um, and get Chris Middleton back.
Man, that man got both ankles messed up. I don't know when he
They said
coming
he was
back.
out They say he was out indefinitely so far.
Yeah, I don't know when he coming back, man. I don't know.
Uh,
Like
and on top of that, if we on top of that, the Bucks are ranked 21st defensively.
terrible.
So that's terrible. You gotta give me more than that. Next team, the Pelicans. How would you fix the Pelicans?
Man, fixing the Pelicans. First off, everybody got to get healthy. Everybody got to get healthy. And I ain't gonna lie. Once everybody's healthy, I have to consider putting either CJ McCollum or Herb Jones on the bench so we can start a big man. Because I said it last week. Haven't really seen because they was talking about the comments of Herb Jones was gonna be playing center and it was mostly gonna be gang rebounding. We haven't seen it because everybody's been hurt. So once everybody's hurt, Willie Green's gonna have to think, okay, do we run the DeJounte, CJ, Herb, Ingram, and Zion lineup, or do we either put CJ or Herb Jones on the bench and probably start? I think he's been for a rookie. Oh, he's been playing okay. I think he's been doing his job, basically just rebounding, rim running, and blocking shots. That's all they're asking him to do. You don't got to go out there and give me 15. Nope. Just go out 10 points, probably some boards and block shots. That's all we're asking. But I feel like you just need to probably insert a big and just figure out what lineup you're going to do when it comes down to it. What That's what they really need to do.
Yeah, I agree. They have to get healthy first, and then they have to play a big. Either night, go get a big during the trade deadline, or start their rookie. But regardless of the fact, they have to play a big. They have to, and I think that's literally all it is to fix the Pelicans. A big and health. But if I had to decide, I would low key send CJ to the bench. I would send CJ to the bench because now that CJ is on the bench, I think he would do a great job of running that bench. And on top of that, you can let CJ be CJ and let him go out there and score. Because he's really good. Although he can play point guard, he's better as a scorer. So I would move CJ to the bench and I would put either, like I said, either go get a big or put Messi in their starting lineup. Next team I got is the my oh I ain't even mentioned the Pelicans are ranked 30th in defense. That is unacceptable. You're literally the worst team in the league on defense. That is so y'all got to play D2. Y'all gotta play D. Y'all gotta play D. But the next team I got, 76ers. How would you fix the 76ers?
Well, first they need to get guys back, and you that Tyrese Maxey is going to miss time now. He's got a hamstring injury, so he's going to be out a couple of weeks. We know with hamstrings, we don't even really know. So now it's just Paul George, and whenever Joel Embiid comes back, you just gotta he'll be back lineup, and then you just have. It's really just you gotta get your guys back, and you gotta figure out who you want. Caleb Martin's gonna play. Kelly Oubre is gonna play. Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry he's Kyle Lowry, man. Like I don't know what more I can do. But KJ Martin, I think you gotta play him more. Yabusele he's been okay. He has been okay. Like really to fix the Sixers, you gotta be healthy. That's really what
Yeah,
it is. Just be healthy. Be healthy.
yeah. I think not having Joel Embiid there is a big problem for them. Because one, they're ranked 22nd defensively, and with Joel Embiid back there, he covers a lot defensively, and he helps those guys tremendously because he's the anchor on defense. Um, Health is for sure. Like you said, Maxi's hurt now. Also, like you said, they need to play KJ Martin more. I think KJ Martin deserves some tick. I think he's a high energy guy. I don't think he's that great of a shooter, but he can knock down a three. But he's more so high energy, high motor, and you need that. You need those guys that's going to go out there and get those 50-50 balls, that's going to hustle, get the most important rebounds. He's one of those type of guys, and those guys can help you win a bunch of games. So he has to play Caleb Martin. He needs to continue to play Kelly Oubre. Kyle Lowry, I'm he's been alright. He ain't been bad this season, but he's been alright. I honestly think once Embiid comes back, they're gonna literally run like a 8-9 man rotation. Honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, most for the most part, it's really just health. Because without Embiid, that's the reason why they losing a bunch of these games. Because if Embiid was there to start the season, they would not be 1-6 right now. They would
Oh
not.
yeah, definitely. Hey, it has been a pleasure to hear you guys. Great ball knowledge is gonna be around here for the next podcast. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it,
Thank you,
bro.
man. Thank you for commenting on
Appreciate it.
all of that, man. We appreciate you, bro. Keep commenting, and we will always see you in the comments. Thank you, Francisco. Thank you.
But the last team I got is the Heat. How would you fix the
Oh
Heat?
God, how to fix the Heat, man? I'm not gonna lie. I think you might have to start playing them younger guys more. Khalil Ware, I think he has to play more minutes. I think. Have you noticed Jovic minutes have been going down?
Yes. Yes. I don't think
His
I'm
minutes
not gonna
have
say they
been
don't
going
believe in him.
down.
I'm not gonna say they don't believe in him anymore, but I don't think I don't think he's competing defensively. And they really got him
Mhm.
as like they was considering him like a baby Jokic. He can do it all. He can rebound, he can pass, he can shoot.
Yeah.
And he's not really showing all of that. His shooting numbers haven't been that well. And I think that's another reason why he isn't in the lineup. I think they wanted him to be like another Kevin Love per se. You know what I mean? And he's not doing that at all. But
Man.
to turn them around, I think that Jimmy has to play better. Bam has to play better. And like you said, I think they need to play Khalil Ware more. Uh, I think they need to start. Honestly, I think they need to start him and move Bam to the four. I think if they start him and move Bam to the four, Bam numbers would be better because not only do you have somebody else back there helping you defensively, so it's not all relying on you defensively. Now you can free up some of that and you can play better offensively and spend more energy on the offensive end. So I think they need to start him, move Bam to the four, and then have Jimmy, Tyler, and Terry.
Jimmy, Tyler.
Terry,
So take
Bam,
Jokic out. Jokic out.
yeah, and
Move
started
Bam to the
Khalil Ware.
4. Is Spoelstra really gonna do that though?
I don't think he will because it's a rookie, and the rookie has to get better defensively as far as guarding pick and rolls and talking on the defensive end. Um, because that's really the biggest part, talking on the defensive end and pick and roll coverage. That's literally all it is. And I don't think that Khalil Ware, it's Khalil Ware, right?
Yeah, Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware.
Yeah,
Well, he
I don't
says
think he will.
Kal-El. Like Superman, his name
Uh,
Kal-El. I think he says
yeah.
Kal-El Ware.
Well, Ware isn't
But
there
I'm
defensively
calling
yet.
you Khalil, brother. It's Khalil. It's easier.
He isn't there defensively yet. But if I was Spoelstra, I would throw him in the fire and let him learn like that.
All right. That is it for our how can we make these NBA playoff teams better? They are obviously starting off slow. So we're just trying to figure out how can we make them better to start for the rest of the season. So the last thing we can talk about honestly is, we could just honestly just discuss the games, man. Give y'all some content about like what we saw in certain games or whatever like that. So I do want to start off with the Hornets and the Pistons. You're a big fan of like the smaller young teams, man. And Brandon Miller, I ain't gonna lie, he got a lucky shot, man. That was luck. I
He
don't care what
did. He
nobody
did,
says.
bro. It did. It was. It was. It was.
K been hooping though. K been hooping, and honestly though, I hope there's not all year, but the Pistons be selling at the end of the games. They be selling.
It's because they're young, bro. It's literally because they're young. And then they haven't been in close games before, or they haven't been in close games this much. So they don't know how to close out games. That's literally all it is. Like, but they're playing great the entire fourth quarter. It's just when it comes down to the last 5 minutes, they choke. And I think JB Bickerstaff is doing a hell of a job with them. A hell of a job. Jaden Ivey has been playing better. He's been playing way better than what this is the Jaden Ivey we should have saw his second year. He's been playing better. K obviously he's got better talent around him, so he's obviously playing better. But yeah, the Pistons. I still believe in them. I think in the next year or two they're going to be really good.
Cause I'm like, man, the Pistons go win, then Brandon Miller gets a lucky
They
putback layup, and it's like,
put back,
bruh,
yo.
what? How much? Like, bruh, KB hooping, man.
But
That's the
Jalen
second straight
Durant
triple
got hurt.
double.
If
Yeah,
Jalen
Jalen
Durant
Durant
didn't
get
get
hurt.
hurt, if he didn't get hurt, I think he would have got that rebound, and that would have been game. Because who did they have in at the end? Was it Paul Reed or Stewart?
I'm not gonna cap. I don't know.
I think it was Stewart that they had at the end of the game. Bro, Stewart is Draymond's height, and Brandon Miller is them the same height as both of them. So it's like, I think Brandon Miller's what, like 6'7", 6'8", ain't he?
I'll go with 6'7". I'll go with 6'7".
Yeah. So he like, bro, and he's athletic as hell. So it's like, yeah, bro. If Jalen Durant was in that game, he would have never gotten that putback. He wouldn't have got that putback.
I'm not gonna lie. The Magic, since Paulo's been hurt, have been terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man, because it's showing that outside of Paulo and France, they ain't really no like consistent score. I know Jalen Suggs been playing decent, but there hasn't been
Yeah,
no
he's been playing good.
consistent score that is gonna give you 25 every night outside of those two. They've been bad. They've been really bad. Wendell been hurt, but still though,
I
they're not
think
good.
I think I think part of that is because KCP. KCP hasn't been playing good to start the season at all. I mean, he's picked it up as of late. But to begin the season, let me see. Let me look up the stats real quick. Pope. Like his best game this season was 13 points, and that was last game against the Pacers. He shot 5 for 10.
He's averaging
You know,
6,
and
2, and 1.
yeah, bro. And
6
they
points.
didn't bring him there for that. They brought him there to average double digits, bro. So I think that's a part of the reason why they have been bad. But yeah, without Paulo, they literally have no shot on winning these games. Because no one else is stepping up. No one else literally isn't stepping up. They haven't been playing Cole Anthony like that. Cole Anthony is another
Yeah,
scorer that
that's
you guys
weird.
have.
That's
They
weird.
haven't been playing him. They've been playing Anthony Black more, and Anthony Black really isn't a scorer. I mean, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He rebounds, he assists, he steals. You know what I mean? He does everything else, but scoring is not his strong suit.
Cole Anthony got a
Um,
DNP.
yeah. So it's like I think that's probably like scoring and shooting is still their weakness. That's their Achilles heel right now. And they have, I mean, they got KCP to try to help with that, but that hasn't worked out so far this season.
Zachariah Ricochet. They said he is the youngest player in Hawks franchise history to have a 30-point game. He played really good yesterday, man. And the Knicks still inconsistent. The defense is bad. I think they do miss Mitchell Robinson, man. He brings the backline defense back there. And they don't have him. And they haven't been like this good team that I thought they was. They're okay, but they haven't been good.
Yeah, Zachariah Richardson, he surprised me, bro. Like I know we've said this a bunch. Well, I know I've said it a bunch of times. This draft was nothing full of role players. But if he can do what he did last night consistently, he would definitely change my mind and a bunch of people's minds. Like 33, 7, 3 steals and 2 blocks.
Jesus.
That's that's nice. That's really fucking good. That's really fucking good. And if we being honest, like, would you say he's a better scorer than Jalen Johnson? Because after
You
that
could
performance,
say
it
it.
looked like it.
You
It
could
looked
say
like
that,
it.
honestly. You could.
I think
You could
he's a
say
better
that.
shooter than him. I think he's definitely a better shooter than him. He hit 6 threes.
Jalen Johnson been playing good, man.
Yeah.
He averaging 18, 10, and 5.
So if Zachariah can keep this shooting up and he can keep scoring like this, the Hawks they have a good young core. They have a good young core.
The
What did you
Nuggets
think of I was
hmm?
gonna say, what did you think of Paul George's return against the Suns?
I mean, I think he played okay. He just came back from what a knee bruise, hyperextended knee.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he played. I think he played okay, man. Even though he took that last second shot, I don't think he should have took it only because I think Tyrese Maxey had the hot hand at that time. But
And
Paul
it was his
George,
birthday. It was his
yes,
birthday.
it was his
Give
birthday.
the ball to the birthday boy, man. And he got 32. Give him the ball.
So I think he should have. I think Paul George has been decent, but I think Tyrese Maxey took that shot, and that could have led to something. That could have led to something because they're not good on, and that's because of just injuries. That's because their best players have been hurt. But I think Paul George these past 2 games, I think he's been okay, but he has to get acclimated. This is a whole new offense, whole new type of players. And then even when Joel comes back, and now when Tyreek's, whenever he comes back, now we really gonna see what all three of them can do on the court together. But I think he's been playing okay. I think he's been playing okay.
Yeah, so far, I was big on Paul George. I thought Paul George was gonna be the Pacers Paul George when he came back. That first game when he shot that midi over Grayson Allen, I promise you I thought it was going in. It looked so good.
That was a
Even
three.
though
Oh
he
no, it
shot like
wasn't mid range. It wasn't mid range. It wasn't mid range.
even though he shot like 4 for 14, I promise you I thought it was going in. But he needed to get that ball to Maxie. And on top of that, because he was a high hand, he's a birthday boy, bro. Let him go out. And he's been killing all season since y'all been gone. Why not ride that wave until you come back and you get comfortable? You know what I mean? So that was that. And then the second game, yeah, he played all right. He took 9 shots. He was 7 for 9, but he only played 24 minutes and they lost by 12. So I mean, he's been playing okay so far. I think he's gonna be way better once Joel Embiid comes back on Tuesday.
And
I think Paul George gonna step it up.
they said that the Bulls are gonna put Zach LaVine and Vucevic on the trade block at some point this year.
About time they should. They need to. Well, they've been putting them on the trade block for what, the last 2-3 years.
I think Zach
They
LaVine.
need they need to move them. They need to flip them and just let these young guys play and just go into rebuild.
Man, they should have been did that. What else before we get out of here? The Thunder and the Nuggets.
Talk about.
Talk about Thunder and the Nuggets. Hey, Jalen Williams, baby, he almost had a triple double, man. This man been going crazy.
Yeah, he took the next step, bro. He took the next step. I wanted him so bad in fantasy, but
You should have.
the Thunder, I couldn't. I wasn't finna reach for him, but the Thunder. Since the West is wide open, I see the Thunder making it to the finals. If Jalen Williams and Shea and Chet keeps playing like this, I can see them making it to the finals. And then you add Isaiah Hartenstein in sometime later point this season. I can see them make it to the finals, honestly, bro. I don't think they should have lost that game, but I mean, it is what it is. You win some games you're not supposed to win. You lose some games you're not supposed to lose.
Hey, Watson got that game-winning block. Well,
Yeah.
game-saving block.
Yeah.
All of them played good, man. All of them on the Nuggets, they played good, man. And that was a really good game. If you're the Thunder, do you go after Giannis?
Because they got a bunch of picks they can give. And they got some young talent on their team, like Cason Wallace and Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. They got a bunch of good. Low key, yeah, I would try it.
If it starts getting nasty in Milwaukee, if it starts getting nasty.
Because then you have Shea, Jalen Williams, Chet, Giannis, and Luke Dort. That's nasty. That's nasty.
If I'm the Bucks, I'm starting the conversations with Jalen Williams. That's where I'm starting. I'm starting with that.
I'm not giving him up, bro. You can't give him up.
I agree. I'm not giving him up either. But if I'm the Bucks, I'm on the Bucks side, I'm gonna start it with Jalen Williams. Where's Jalen Williams? Can we potentially get him? If you guys say no, which I think they will, I'm gonna say, okay, cool. You're gonna have to give me Isaiah Hartenstein, because we do got to make the money match. And no one really is making a lot of money on that team outside of Shea, really. So you got to give me Isaiah Hartenstein. Cason Wallace got to be in there.
Aaron Wiggins is good. I was
thinking about Aaron Wiggins. I
would take him.
Man, I ain't gonna cap.
And a bunch of picks. You gotta give me
that Clippers pick, man. Give me that Clippers pick, man. Let's start.
They damn near gotta give me every pick they got. No cap. You gotta give me at least 4, 5, 6
I think the most picks you can give up is 5.
You gotta give me 5. You gotta give me 5 picks.
Oh, I think it will take 5 though. Cause
you gotta give me 5.
So they got their own pick this year. That ain't nothing.
Give me that. Give me that. I still want
it. OKC is either it could be Houston or the Clippers. Most likely going to be like the Clippers. So, and we know if we think they're not going to be okay, that pick could be pretty high. They got Miami's pick protected 1 through 14, Philly's pick 1 through 6, Utah protected 1 through 10, Atlanta's that's second round pick.
Utah gonna get that pick back.
They got a lot of picks. Jesus Christ, they got a lot of picks, man. They got a lot.
Yeah, you gotta give me them picks. Give me them picks.
But that's protected 1 through 10. That's protected 1 through 10.
Who, the Jazz?
The Utah, yeah, the Jazz pick.
The Jazz are gonna get it. They're gonna get a top 10 pick. They're gonna get that pick back.
I'm going after that Clippers pick. Give me the Clippers pick. Give me the Clippers pick.
You gotta give me a bunch of first
and they got
rounds, bro.
2026. They got their own Houston and the Clippers in 26. Their own second and 27. They got a Denver pick. That Denver pick low-key could be pretty good in 2027. Because we don't know what they're going to be then. They got their own in 28. They got Dallas. They got a lot of picks, man. If I'm the Thunder and if they start losing, I'm going after Giannis, bro. And man,
Yeah,
if
that would be a
you
good pickup. That would be a great pickup for them. That's low key. That's championship right there.
man, it was
Because you got
championship even
Giannis
before
and
Giannis.
Tate.
You get this, boy. You instant championship.
You got Giannis and Chet as your back line. And then you got Shea. And first off, defensively, they are going to be
I might ask
amazing.
for
They
Lou Dort low
already
key.
good. Well, okay, take them. We still getting Giannis. That's cool.
They still
And we
got
still got.
Caruso too.
I was just gonna say we got Caruso too, so that's cool. And just imagine, even say they don't trade Lou Dort, you got Shea, Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, Giannis, Chet. Defensively, they already number one defensively. Gee, you're not gonna be able to do nothing against them. And even if you do trade Lou Dort, we can just insert Alex Caruso. You can have Alex Caruso, Shea, Jalen Williams, Giannis, and Chet. Oh my god! Oh my god! They literally switching 1 through 5. Literally 1 through 5.
Man, that would be Chet and Giannis though in the front court.
Crazy, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy.
I wanted to find this thing. It was a quote. It was I can't find it, bro. I should have screenshotted it. But it was talking about they was talking about Paul George. Is this it? No, it's not it. I can't find it. Jesus Christ. Let me see. It was basically saying Steve Ballmer because they asked him, why y'all didn't sign Paul George or whatever. And he basically said that we offer him a 3-year full max. The Sixers offer him 4. And he said with the second apron, we was basically gonna be F. So we just want to be a sustainable contender. And basically what I got is y'all not trying to be championship contenders, y'all just want to be decent.
Yeah, he just want to be decent enough to put butts in them seats so he can get money.
Like that's basically
Because
what I
he
get.
realized. I think he realized his championship window is gone. I think he's realized that, bro. So it's like now it's just at this point, I'm gonna ride James Harden and Kawhi's coattail until I can get enough money out them, and then go into a rebuild.
But yeah, that's it, y'all. No 2-hour pod. No 2-hour pod, but we are at an hour 47. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Francisco. Shout out to him. He was in the comments all day giving us answering feedback and all that, man. Thank you, Francisco. Follow us on all socials on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe, comment, subscribe, like and comment and subscribe on everything. And this was actually a good podcast, man. But we will see you guys next time, man. Next Thursday, we'll have another episode of the podcast, man. We will see you guys later.